Rain fell hard against the window. It was a boring, uneventful day. It was 5 a.m., and he went to the sorting office and went through the motions. Trudging through the sleet and snow, he had one thing in his favour: a good imagination. No matter how boring his day, he could always daydream. It made everything much more bearable. Next page. He was 40, fit and young looking. He liked being a postman, but would be so much better in a warm country. Most of the day was spent thinking about living in a hot country like America or Spain. Being a postman is easy in the sunshine, but it's hell in the wind and rain. Another perk of the job was occasionally he would get invited in for coffee by a lonely old lady, but there was one woman on his round he was attractive, who was attractive and classy, and she was Spanish to boot. He was lonely and he needed female company, especially the company of a hot senorita. His feet hurt with all of the plodding around the street, but at least it kept him fit. He played tennis and went to the gym 3 times a week. Often he would treat his round like an exercise routine, going as quickly as possible. His legs were bulging with muscles with walking all day. It was obvious women were attracted to men with muscles, and it was his goal to impress them. He was a bit of a Walter Mitty character, but it kept him going. He had a dream, and he was determined to achieve it. He was 20 minutes into his round when the sun came out and shone on his shoulders. It was a positive feeling, and he had a spring in his step, and he popped the letters through the waiting letterboxes happily. Each letter was special unless it was a bill. He loved being the bringer of good news. There was one particular woman on his round who had caught his eye. She was Italian, pretty, with beautiful long black hair. He was hoping that she would invite him in, even though that was a sackable offence. He was willing to risk it. Hello, viewers. He dreaded the winter being a postman, and although the snow looked lovely, it was very tiring and cold trudging through it. He dreamed of excitement. A life without excitement can make one very tired, he thought, and he hurried through his round, whistling as he went. He loved looking at people's gardens. The variety of style of garden always amazed him. Every garden was unique, just like people, he thought. Some were ugly and some were beautiful. Most of the gardens were in good condition, which bodes well for the human race, he thought happily. Most people took pride in their homes, and he especially liked bungalows, as they were cozy and comfortable. He would have loved to have lived in one. It was easy to relax in them. With no neighbour to contend with, he could make all the noise he wanted. Hello, viewers. Please sub me if you like my story. The sun shone down on him, making him happy and energetic. He picked up the pace. He realized when he daydreamed, the time flew by, and this was good for making up stories and letting his imagination flow. He often wished he was living in Victorian times in London, married to an aristocrat. A man out of time, he thought. He popped the letters through the letterbox, hoping there would be good news. He loved the power of being a postman. He had the ability to make someone's day, and in turn that made his good as well. He cheered up even more when he realized he had a parcel for Sophia, the Italian lady he fancied. He would have to knock on her door, and he was hoping that she would answer. She opened the door with a big smile on her face and asked him in. Her home was classy and decorated with nice white rugs and chandeliers. She was wearing a short t-shirt and blouse, and she politely asked him to sit down and make tea. She asked him about his life, and he made small talk. He told her of his childhood in Yorkshire. She listened intently and smiled in all the right places. He thought that things were going well, and she told him of her failed marriage and how her husband Tom had run off with a secretary. They had some heartaches in common. She had never suspected anything, even with the late nights and unanswered phone calls. She was blissfully unaware. Hope you like my postman story. I'll be back later, very tired. Please sub me if you like it. Good night, viewers.